Hello and welcome to Torsey Waldridge Kitchen Gardener. We're now at the beginning of June, and as crazy as this seems, we've now got to start thinking about what crops that we can sow now that will see us through those winter and into the spring months. So here are my 5 top seeds that you guys can crack on with now, and they are cabbages, leeks, purple sprouting broccoli, carrots and swedes. I'll put a list down below of all of the crops that I've just mentioned, and they will be winter hardy crops, and that's all that you've got to make sure that you're growing. So you don't want to grow leeks that are meant to be summer leeks. You want leeks that are designed to produce over the winter months. So just make sure you do a bit of research, especially if you're new to this game, that you make sure that you're growing the right crops for the right season. So I thought it would be worth mentioning successional sowing, so that will really hit the majority of your salading crops, which will be spinach, lettuce, spring onions, radish. So it's a whole array of those salading crops that don't last the whole of the summer season. So I normally sow mine every 2 weeks, so especially with spinach, it bolts really quickly, especially in this hot dry weather, and especially what we've been having now. You might only get 1 or 2 cuts out of it. So if you sow that every 2 weeks, that you know throughout the whole of the summer months you will have that crop available for you to use. Here are my 3 top tips for the month. My first tip being, make sure you keep on top of watering. Vegetables like consistency, especially when it comes to water, and they don't like to dry out. So make sure that you're keeping on top of your watering. I understand down allotment plots it's a lot harder because you can only usually use watering cans, but just make sure you can get down there as much as possible, especially through these dry spells. My second tip is make sure you keep on top of weeding. With certain crops it's not too much of a problem, like these broad beans, but when it comes to onions, salading crops, anything that doesn't like competition with its space, really keep those weeds down, and hoeing is a fantastic way of doing that and a massive time saver. But if you can go around and hand pick weeds, that's absolutely perfectly fine. If not, get a hoe onto it so you get the best out of your veg. My third tip is make sure you keep on top of pinching out your side shoots on your cordon tomatoes, and I grow my cucumbers in exactly the same way. So I grow the main stem up, pinch out the side shoots, and the fruits appear off of the main stem. So I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of how to pinch out or prune your tomato plants. This shoot actually got really big and shouldn't have got that big. So you've got the main stem coming up with your leader on it and your tomato fruits coming off the side. As I said, this one's got way too big, so I've just removed that. The other good way that I like to show people how to take out a side shoot is you've got your main vertical stem that comes up. You then have a leaf with no fruit or leader at a right angle, which will be your 90 degrees. Main stem, leaf, so that will create a 90-degree angle, and then you have a 45 in the middle here, which has a growing tip, and that is the bit that you want to take out. So I say right angle, 45, snip the 45, and there you have it. This is my monthly tour of the veg garden. So on the left hand side of my veg garden I have beautiful fig trees, which, to be honest with you, I don't really keep very well pruned, but because of the mild winter we had, they're absolutely dripping in fruit, so I'm really excited about that. And then this is my perennial border with sea kale, horseradish, bit of angelica in there. That's sort of a bit of a pretty, it's nice to look at something pretty in your veg garden. Jerusalem artichokes, my lemon tree, and a mass of rhubarb with artichokes. And then if I swing round, so I'm really excited, my glass house floor is being done, so it's now got the concrete down, which I'm really happy about, and is going to be bricked next week. So I'm really excited just to have a level floor and something that looks nice in the veg garden. So the first early century onions have done particularly great. I have had a bit of shanking, which is, I'll go into depth about that in another video on pest and disease a bit later on in the season, or maybe for next year. But yeah, they've done absolutely fantastically. I've got loads of carrots, they're doing really well, and I'm picking those. A few shallots, more carrots. So I had a bit of a catastrophe with the onions. Obviously I was off for a while with the whole lockdown thing going on, then I was able to come back to work, but it was a little bit late with the onions, so my main season onion crop isn't at its best. But like I say, you can't win with every crop every year. The cauliflowers that I had down here, if you guys have seen it in the previous videos, they were absolutely amazing. I was really happy with those. So they were an overwintering cauliflower. Definitely recommend that. Definitely going to do it again next year. So this is obviously the brassica bed, which is absolutely fab. So I've got broccoli, red cabbage, green cabbage, cauliflowers, kohlrabi, there's Brussels sprouts, loads of kale, because the family love their kale. We've got peas and mangetout, loads of salad crops. I've just planted the beans yesterday. We've got celery, sorry, that's celeriac, the celery's at the back. I've decided to irrigate that this year, along with the courgettes that are now planted out in the ground. So I just thought with the irrigation I get a lot of downy mildew, which becomes a massive problem. It stops the plants from photosynthesizing. So I thought I'd irrigate it and see how it gets on this year. Stamford leeks, they're looking great. I did lose a few, but these things happen. Florence fennel, beet leaf. I've got tons. I've dedicated nearly half a bed to beetroot this year. My parsnips, yet again, another catastrophe with parsnips. They were sown really late, but they've now germinated. So fingers crossed we get a good crop with that. But these potatoes are looking absolutely fantastic. And my first early potatoes didn't go in until mid-April, which is really late. But obviously the soil was so wet in mid-March, I wasn't able to do anything. So it's been a very long, hard slog getting this garden back up and running. But thankfully I had my partner Brian helping me, which has been an absolute godsend. And I cannot thank him enough for being here and helping me, because I wouldn't be here now where we are with the veg garden. Broad beans are great. They've been hit really bad with black fly, so I've had to keep on top of that. Garlic's looking good. Yet again, gets rust really bad, but I don't actually cut the leaves off at all. I just find that I just let it do its thing. It gets the rust and the bulbs turn out however they turn out. Pumpkin and squash beds, and the sweet peas that we're starting to get quite a lot of now. Asparagus bed, so you can keep on cutting your asparagus until about the 20th of June, but I felt that I was just going to leave it, let it fronds, and just let it recuperate for next year, because I cut it quite well, had a really good harvest off it basically, but just think that I'll just give it a little bit more energy back for the plant next year. Got my first sunflower come out just here, so looking forward to seeing all of that. This bed here is ready for the sweet corn to go in it. So I do two different types of sweet corn. I have the normal sweet corn, corn on the cob, and the baby corns that you get, which are stir fry, however, whatever people use them for. The roses have come out around the waterfall and it looks absolutely gorgeous. I've got a new pump coming, or has arrived, sorry, and is being fitted on Friday. So hopefully my water feature will start working properly again. And in the cage, I decided I'm not able to go to the cut flower garden because it's sort of in the middle of the hub and there's other gardeners working there. And for us to keep our distance, I'm not able to go to the cut flower garden. So somebody else is looking after that this year. and I've just decided to put this bed to flowers. So obviously I can still do a few cut flowers and send them into the house while the garden is just being looked after by other staff. And then all the fruit in here is doing absolutely fantastically great. The fruit in here is absolutely dripping, so we've got loads of blueberries. So my mistake was I didn't replant my strawberry plants. They've been in for 4 years now, maybe, yeah, 4 years, and they've had it. They've gone really, really woody, and they didn't look too bad last year, and we got an amazing crop off of them. And I thought, oh, I'll squeeze one more year out of them, and yeah, this is what's happened. So there's no crop. They've pretty much died back really badly. So I've got to rip all of these out in autumn and replant all of this. And we're going to have a bit of a shake up in the cage area, just make it look a little bit nicer. Get the net done because we've got the blackbirds in here. And obviously all of this lovely fruit is going to be absolutely decimated by the blackbirds. I've got blackcurrants here, absolutely dripping. Wonderful. I'm just hoping that we can get there before. Look at those red currants. It's just what dreams is made of, isn't it? And that's what it's about, being a veg gardener with your fruit. Raspberries at the back there completely died, so I'm going to rechange that. And we've got some visitors. Hello guys, coming to check out what I'm doing. No, I don't have any food for you at the moment. Looking pretty chilled. Yeah, but these raspberries, so this back row completely died out, and my autumn raspberries and summer raspberries are absolutely fine. So I'm not going to replant raspberries at the back there. I'm just going to do more strawberries because the family loves strawberries, and why not produce what they like. So that's the tour, guys. Oh yeah, and if you watched any of the previous videos, so the gooseberries sort of just about came back, but looking at it again, which I haven't done for a couple of days, they've got sawfly again, and that is looking pretty bad. So I'm gonna have to get on top of that. So it looks like I've had 2 sawfly attacks this year, but you know, that is the joys of being a vegetable gardener.